A father witnessed his daughter being slapped hard right before his very eyes. He fixed a cold, piercing stare upon the man who had just struck his daughter. But then, the man simply walked out of the room, acting as if absolutely nothing had occurred. However, once he was outside, he made an excuse to his family, claiming his phone was left at the game arcade and he needed to go back to retrieve it. He then broke down the door and went to confront the person who had harmed his daughter. In that instant, he was no longer the gentle, ordinary father he once was. He had transformed into a highly trained killing machine. In less than 5 minutes, he had completely transformed the entire game arena. He was then questioned by the local police authorities. The officers warned him not to cause any more trouble, and the man was ultimately set free. Just when he thought the trouble was finally over, the very next day he took his family to an amusement park only to spot a group of police officers watching them closely. He quickly realized that these individuals weren't going to simply let him off the hook. For the sake of his family's safety, he immediately reached out to a trusted friend. His friends then informed him that the game attendant actually had connections far more intricate and powerful than he could have ever imagined. He's the second in command of the city's largest gang. He has very close connections with the police, and their leader, Londina, is much more terrifying. Unlike traditional gangs, Londina established her empire solely through acts of cruelty. The man's friend advised him to stop and protect his family. "Do you have an address or any information at all?" the man asked. "I'll give you one hint, but listen very carefully. After this moment, you are completely on your own." Having found out that the guards and police were getting ready to move the shipment, he approached their warehouse carrying a single jerry can of gasoline. Without any hesitation, he doused the piles of goods and all the money with the fuel, then he coldly threatened them. If the money and cargo were to go up in flames, not only would the place be ruined, but his boss, Londina, would certainly be furious. A chilling silence enveloped the room. The man then made a simple demand. He just wanted a break, a safe vacation with his family. He didn't want the problem to escalate, but the police and the guard just sneered. Some of his men were already hospitalized because of that man. It was clear he wasn't an ordinary father, the police said, and the idea of de-escalating the situation was a joke. When the man raised the lighter, ready to burn the money soaked in gasoline, the officer's face finally darkened. The police officer then said, "All right, you're quite fortunate today," and he ordered him to leave this very instant, or he would truly finish him off. However, as the man turned to walk away, he noticed a young boy, bound and stumbling out from inside the vehicle. A moment of doubt was visible in his eyes, but he knew perfectly well what the outcome would be if he chose to do absolutely nothing. He brutally beat the guards and police. Amidst the chaos, the gasoline-soaked money finally ignited. The injured man ran out of the flames, carrying the boy. The burning fuel and exploding chemicals consumed the entire warehouse yard. Meanwhile, when Londina received the news, she erupted like a volcano. The money and chemicals were destroyed. She stared at the screen, seeing the figure of that seemingly ordinary man. Londina said, "Who is that person?" Her assistant replied, "There is no data or information on this person.